Welcome back to Just the Facts, y'all. My name is Jimmy, and today we got a NBA duo tier list maker. Okay, so the season starts in like 10 days or so already, man. Back on the grind. Okay, we about to make some more NBA videos. Stay tuned for that. Coming soon. A lot of prediction, preview type videos coming soon. Stay tuned for that. Let's start off here with this, the duos list. All right, let's go in order. All right. First, we're gonna start off with Zach LaVine and Larry Markkinen. This has potential to be a really dynamic duo. Right now, I will put it in the C tier. I need to see Larry Markkinen back fully healthy, and I need to see Zach LaVine not seem like an empty stat type of guy, because he's very talented. He's really good, borderline all-star type player. But I want to see that those numbers translate to wins. A lot of the same goes with Trey Young and John Collins for right now. I'd put them ahead because I think Trey Young is the best player out of those four. I think he's better than LaVine, but same thing here. Trey Young's defense is not good. Will John Collins even be on the team moving forward? The Hawks made a lot of moves, getting Bogdanovich, getting Rondo. Obviously, they have Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter. They got Okongwu. So the Hawks got a lot of pieces to work with there. Next tier, do we even need to say anything? I mean, next duo, do we need to even say anything? No, we don't. LeBron and AD just came off a title. Very good chance they repeat. I'm not gonna lie, because I mean, I think AD is gonna go for MVP this year. I think he's that good, and those playoffs he had was absolutely ridiculous. I think LeBron's gonna take a step back just to preserve himself for the playoffs, and that's gonna allow AD to potentially be the best player in the league this upcoming season. Jamal Murray, Nicole, Jokic. Ooh, this is a good one. How they played in the bubble, I will put them in the A tier. And with the duos, it's not just about which duo is most talented. No, it's which duo plays well with each other. And these two guys play as well together probably than almost anyone else, any other duo here in the league, right? So Jokic and Murray coming off that playoff run that they went on, insane. Jamal Murray dropping 40 points every other game, it seemed like. Jokic triple doubles, no one could guard him. I just want to see these guys do it in the regular season and then translate it to the playoffs as well. Now, who's this? Steph with Wiggins? Okay, that's not really a duo, but I would have put Steph and Draymond. But either way, I mean, I'm just gonna say that that's not Andrew Wiggins, and I'm gonna say that's Draymond Green. All right, and put him in the A tier. Draymond Green has been struggling as of late. Maybe it's just last year product of his environment. The guys around him weren't really that good, with Steph and Clay out for the majority of the season. So Draymond wasn't good himself. So with Steph back, I think that's going to open up a lot for Draymond. Hopefully he goes back to his shooting that he was like in 2015. We don't know if Harden's going to be on the Rockets anymore, but him alone just I don't know if James Harden's going to be on the Rockets. And I don't know how healthy John Wall is, so the best I can give him is a B tier. Gordon Hayward and Devontae Graham. I feel like this has C tier potential. Gordon Hayward, let's not act like he's bad. He's not bad. I would have put Gordon Hayward with LaMelo Ball. That would have made more sense. But having these two guys, like Hayward's gonna be fine. You know, he will fit on any team he's on. Gordon Hayward, he's gonna give you a solid 15 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists type guy at this point in his career. That's the best he can give you, right? Who is this? Derrick Rose and Blake Griffin. I think one of these guys will be traded by the time the season rolls around, so I got to put them in the C tier. Not much to say there. Both of these guys have struggled with injuries. Obviously, two of the most injury-riddled players of this generation. They're not a fun team to watch. They're not a very good team. Let's just be honest. Let's just skip that. Constance and Andre Drummond, first D tier. They're not a duo at all, in my opinion. That's just not a duo like you'd be afraid of. I will say Constance has gotten better over the years. Shooting the ball, he has surprised me shooting the ball. He's becoming a better scorer, but defensively it's just not there for him, even though he does have the intensity. That's just not a duo for me. Now, Kyrie and Kd, If things go well, S tier. I'm anticipating S tier. I'm anticipating the Nets to make a deep run, possibly a finals run. I did say that they would win the finals, but that's questionable now. I want to see how Kyrie and Kd and their personality stuff kind of mix. And then Steve Nash hire with Mike D'Antoni and Stoudemire, and then you got Jack Vaughn still there, and Kyrie saying there's no coach in Brooklyn and all that stuff. They don't need a coach or whatnot. I could drop them to A tier, but S tier is what I'm expecting from them this season. Now, this is a really, really good tier. Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr., I mean, a good duo. They're really good. I mean, I made a breakdown video on Jaren Jackson Jr. A couple months ago. I think he's kind of underrated at this point. He just needs to stay out of foul trouble, get a little bit stronger, and just stay consistent. You know what Ja brings to the table: electrifying, explosive. He's gonna get 8-9 assists a game. He's gonna dunk over people. He's gonna do all that stuff. But this is his second year. This is Jaren Jackson's third year now. Let's just continue to see the growth for these two guys, and I'll see them in the A tier pretty soon. I'm expecting them in A tier pretty soon. Now, Luca and Porzingis, I will put them in A tier because, let's be honest, they would have beaten the Clippers if Porzingis was out there, right? Possibly if Porzingis doesn't get ejected in Game 1, or what was it? Game 1, right? If he doesn't get ejected, Clippers probably lose that game to the Mavericks, to this duo right here. Luka's a top 10 player in my opinion, and Porzingis, when healthy, is a great two-way center. He just needs to stay healthy. That's my only concern with Porzingis and the Mavericks. DJ Warren and Domantas Sabonis. No Oladipo, interesting. I think Oladipo is on the way out, but this tier, I mean, they're okay, but they're not playoff performers like that. We saw that with TJ Warren. Sabonis is an all-star, but they're not really anything special, right? Now, I will assume that I will change Kemba Walker and make that Jaylen Brown. So, because I think Jaylen Brown's the second best player on the Celtics. Kemba Walker has regressed. He is injured right now. So I'm going to just assume that it's Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Let's just act like it's Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And I will put them in the... Ooh, that's a good one. I'll put them in the A tier. Celtics had a really, really quiet offseason. It was kind of weird, but I think Jason Tatum can go to superstar level this season. That's what I want to see with the Celtics. If not, then I'll see the Celtics drop into like a 5 seed, honestly. I can very well see that. Let's see if Jason Tatum takes that superstar jump and he has a whole season like he did like in months January and February. Let's see if he can stretch that out for an entire season and then perform in the playoffs. Speaking of performing in the playoffs, oh wow. Kawhi and PG. Okay, PG's got a max contract. Kawhi's on a 1-year deal. Clippers have all the haters laughing at them, and deservedly so with how they played. But at the end of the day, this is still A tier. Hold on, let me fix this up a little bit. Kawhi and PG have a lot to prove. That's it. Let me not act like they're not great players. They're gonna be a top 3 seed in the West. They're gonna be expected to compete for the title, not lose a 3-1 lead to Denver. All right. Now the Bucks. That's a really interesting one. They'll be in the A tier as well. Giannis and Middleton. With the addition of Jrue Holiday, the Bucks did get marginally better, but I don't know if that's enough to keep Giannis at the end of the season. I don't know if that's enough to win a title. I just don't. They're going to win 50-plus games. They're going to have one of the best offenses and defenses in the league. They had that for the past 2 years. But it will come down to what Giannis does in the playoffs. It will come down to what Middleton does in the playoffs helping Giannis. Will he fold, or will he continue to average his 20-21 points per game, be able to score in the half court, be able to take over games when Giannis isn't getting it going, or when defenses are geared towards Giannis? Can Middleton take over? Can Jrue Holiday take over? I think you can interchange Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday. They're about the same level of player, in my opinion. That's what it's gonna come down to. Bam and Jimmy Butler, that's another A tier. These guys, they play so well together. They just do. And they're not even just a duo. It's it's Jimmy and Bam, and then it's Tyler Hero, and then it's Duncan Robinson, and they just have a whole infrastructure of guys, man. And they're just a well-oiled machine. But I expect Bam to get even better this season offensively. I expect the Miami Heat to be really, really good again. Possibly the 1 seed, in my opinion. Now, D'Lo and Cat. This will be a B tier type of team. This team is not good defensively at all, but the offensive talent, I cannot deny that whatsoever. And I cannot deny how well I think these guys will play together, Cat and D'Lo. Next up, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Al Horford. I love Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's game. All-star potentially this year? Probably not, because the Thunder will be pretty bad. But I think he can up his scoring even in production even more, overall production. Chris Paul's not there anymore. He's going to be handling the ball a lot of the time. And I just want to see him take off, man. Now, Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. This is I'll put him in B tier. I'll put him in the B tier. At the end of the B tier. Because first of all, Zion needs to not be on a minutes restriction. All right? He needs to not be on load management or whatever. He has to. I want to see him fully healthy, fully in shape, all that stuff. I have to see that first. Ingram is all-star caliber player. He's gonna average 25. Zion was great in his rookie season. Let's just see if they can keep on going. Simmons and Embiid, they did pick up some shooting with Seth Curry and Danny Green. Those will help out a lot with the addition of Doc Rivers. I expect the Sixers to be really, really good this season. Pick up a Tyrese Maxey, who I think is going to be one of the biggest deals. Simmons and Embiid, I think at first I was like, they don't fit together, but now I'm starting to believe that they can fit together. They just needed the shooters. Remember the 2018 Philly team, how good they were? They had shooters. They had JJ Redick, Robert Covington, Ersan Ilyasova, Marco Bellinelli, Dario Saric. They had a whole bunch of shooters. And that's what they're going to need again. They didn't have it the past couple years. I mean, they had Josh Richardson's. You can leave him open. Al Horford, don't even get me started on him. So with that being said, Embiid and Simmons will be in the A tier for sure. Now, this is one of the newer ones, Cp3 and Booker. This can be an elite duo, these two. I don't think the Suns as a team is good enough yet. I need to see Ayton progress. I need to see Cameron Johnson and Mikal Bridges get better and better. Those are going to be the two-way guys. But just these two guys alone, I think the chemistry will be there. And that makes me want to put them in the A category. But I got to put them in the B category. Next up, Derozan and Aldridge. I mean, if this was a mid-range duo tier list, they'd be at the top, but this is an overall duo tier list, and they just don't. Oh, nope, C tier. And I don't mean by any stretch that Aldridge and Derozan are bad. I just think that it's time to just move on from them if you're San Antonio. Both of them. There's Randall Mitchell-Robinson. This is not a duo, in my opinion. It's just not. Those are two pretty good players, but, I mean, I would rather put RJ Barrett and Obi Toppin as the duo, and I would project how good they would be. I'd still put them in the D tier. Let's not get that wrong, but I'd rather see those two guys. Now, we got next Jonathan Isaac and Nikola Vucevic. Now, I don't think Isaac's going to be playing this season. Honestly, prayers up to him. Hope he comes back from the ACL after just coming back from another a knee injury. This duo I will put in the C tier. Orlando is just going to middle around the 7th, 8th seed for the rest of time, it seems like. De'Aaron Fox and Marvin Bagley. Now, this duo has potential. Both left-handed players. Shout out to the lefties out there. Marvin Bagley he hasn't been healthy, first of all, and I don't know. I'll put him in the C tier as well, but I'll put him towards the front. I just need to see Marvin Bagley healthy first, and then I can really evaluate them. Fox is going to be good. Is he an all-star caliber point guard? I think he can reach that moment, but he needs to keep on improving his shooting. He kind of reminds me of John Wall he kind of reminds me of John Wall right now. He's a okay shooter, but not even really average or good or elite. Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, I would have to put him in the... I'll put him in a B tier just out of respect to these guys. Donovan Mitchell has really, really surprised me. I thought Donovan Mitchell was a tad bit overrated, but seeing how he played in the bubble, now I know how he's capable of playing on a consistent basis, because he did that in the playoffs. I don't think Rudy Gobert's that guy that could be next to Donovan Mitchell, because I think Donovan Mitchell needs a guy who can catch, a guy who can really, really make plays out of the pick and roll, a guy who can really, really make the defense pay for pick and rolls with Donovan Mitchell. Rudy Gobert can't hurt the defense, not even from mid-range. You know, he doesn't even have a post game he can go to. He dropped the ball a lot when Mitchell was giving him the ball in the post. Rudy Gobert was getting stuck catching the ball underneath the basket, and he couldn't do much with it. You know, besides take one dribble and go up. That's all he can do. He's limited. Donovan Mitchell, for him to really unlock his game for real, he needs a big man that is more of an offensive threat to take the pressure off of him when it comes to pick and rolls. Dame and CJ, I think they're better duos on this list, but just I think they're more talented duos on this list, but just from a sheer chemistry standpoint, these guys are almost like no other in terms of chemistry. I mean, that's the best I can do with Dame and CJ. The defense is not there for them. Rocco's going to help a lot, like I said, but you know, Dame, I think he's going to have an MVP type run this year. Dame will try his best to make it work, but I don't think it will work in Portland. Now, Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, I am excited for this duo. Bradley Beal is going to have a season similar to Paul George. Maybe not be a top 3 MVP candidate, but he will have one of the better years offensively, like Paul George had in his MVP season. 28 points, very efficient. I think Russ will have that effect on Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is not a guy that needs the ball in his hands all the time, but he can have the ball in his hands. You know, Russ wanted the ball in his hands more. Obviously, Beal's not as ball dominant as Harden. No one is, but this will work out, man. I'm just skeptical of the other pieces around these guys, but now that I had time to think about it, let's put them in the... Because I think the Wizards will be a playoff team, but maybe a B tier. Speaking of B tier, Pascal Siakam and Kyle Lowry will go in the B tier as well. These guys they're two really, really good players, but as for, you know, high-end talent, neither of those guys are high-end talent. Kyle Lowry and Pascal Siakam. I think the Raptors will get a tad bit worse. Kyle Lowry's going to get a little older. Let's see if Siakam gets better, if he has more than a spin move to go to, for crying out loud, when it comes to the playoffs. He had Kawhi Leonard in 2019, so he could pretty much do whatever he wanted, but with the guy, when he's the guy, and I had this wrong. I thought Pascal would be just fine being the guy, but obviously he needs help. But there y'all have it. What can I say? My duos tier list. Let me know how wrong I am on this list, man, or how right I was. Who knows? But this stream from Just the Facts. Let me know who y'all's duo is in the comments below. Who would you rank above who, and why, and whatever. Call me dumb, call me stupid, call me idiot, whatever. But I'm out. Peace.